everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video. It's 3:30 in the morning, so my eyes are still baggy, but I'm running a little bit late. I don't actually have a whole lot of time to explain what we're doing, but I need to go. 3:30 a.m. and I'm already running late. Let's just start this video with the question of, if you had to drive 1,000 miles in a day in a 9.5-year-old EV, what would it be, and why would it be a Bolt EV? And then I guess only other framing is in the middle of an energy crisis, right? So here we are heading out into the wild blue yonder when gas is probably maybe over $6 a gallon. Who knows? Did we start another world war? We'll see. Let's go. All right, well, now I can catch you up. We're about 100 and I guess 30 miles in. I could have gone farther, but I wanted to check out this site. This is the GM Energy Pilot Flying J, the one that went in at Flag City. So this is sort of north of Stockton. It's a little bit early for me to stop, but they also have a Denny's. I did want to get some breakfast. I didn't have any coffee or breakfast when I left the house, so I wanted to go ahead and do that here. And like I said, check out the facility. But really the priority right now is I'm trying to make as good a time as I can make. Yeah, so we're already at basically 60% battery. And I think our next stop is our average estimated range right now just tipped up to 118 miles. And I think our next stop is 118 miles out. I'll have to add the map back on again. But anyway, so we're going to basically do one of those one-day 1,000-mile trips again. Like I said, I need to... I got out a little bit late. I'm kind of on a bit of a schedule. There's someplace I need to be, and so we're not gonna really waste too much time. I have most of my route on the way down scoped out, and then we'll have a little bit more of a relaxed return. But I still don't want to dawdle too much, right? I need to still get back and take care of the animals and things like that. And then of course I left with 90% battery. I had like Hilltop Reserve mode on. I was trying to get the energy screen reset, but it's not. So there's an extra like 266 miles or whatever on the energy screen. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and confirm, make sure that we have a little bit more battery buffer left, and we'll get ready to head out. Oh yeah, and squeegee. I need to squeegee the windows. They are dirty right now, and there is a squeegee. Let's go. All right, so we got here at Fireball with 5%, and I tried to stop at the Ready. That wasn't really my planned stop, but I realized it was there, and Well, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. So, I mean, I've seen other people use those chargers before. Uh, right now, I know Ready is putting a lot of stations in. A lot of people are really happy about Ready, but I believe, if I'm not wrong, a lot of the stations that they have now under them are actually repurposed older stations from previous CPOs. This is one of the ones that they actually installed with that Red E hardware of theirs. I I haven't actually dived into the details of it too much, um, but I attempted to use it. It has a NIAX reader. The NIAX reader wasn't working, and I wasn't going to futz around with it. I don't have enough time on this trip to get it to work. It is actually a decent location, and it would have been a more comfortable stop on this trip, right? Like Santanella, right before that would have also been a very good stop for this trip. But let's just say my first impressions trying to use Ready weren't that good. I tried to plug in and tried to use their payment reader and just didn't work, and I wasn't going to futz around with it. And then I saw on the screen that they actually have a $2 session fee. So in addition to like 60 cents per kilowatt hour, you're also paying $2 just to start it up. And whenever you have a session fee that's that expensive, it really basically takes charging the whole battery to really make it worth it. And the fact that those are 80 kilowatt chargers means that you're going to have to be there for an inordinate amount of time to make it worth it. And that's just, that stop in particular is one that needs dedicated fast charging for freeway, freeway speed travel. So you're looking at minimum dedicated 150 to 200 kilowatt charging. And if you can't, if your station isn't capable of that, I would say minimum capable of 150 kilowatt peak speeds, but realistically 200 kilowatt, then yeah, that's not ideal. And then, like I said, a $2 session fee. So initial impressions, not great. I could have also used the free wire that were there, or tried to use the free wire there. I have no issue with free wire, but I figured, you know what, I'm not going to pull in and park again and then just see whether or not they are working. So I just came here, which was my originally scheduled programming. So Fireball, I was thinking I would use maybe the Rivian chargers, but again, this trip in particular, I'm trying to make as fast as time as possible on the trip down, right? Coming back, I'm going to be willing to experiment a little bit more. But the problem with Rivian and the Chevrolet Bolt is the way they do their power distribution. They're basically a 50 kilowatt charger for the Chevrolet Bolt EV. So I'm not going to, like, that would literally cost me 5 to 10 minutes in charging time, especially coming in at 5% battery. So we're already charging at 52, 53 kilowatt right now. We would be at 45 maybe on the Rivian, right? 43 to 45 kilowatt on the Rivian. So just, bit the bullet using Electrify America. Not necessarily my preferred charging provider, and I don't have an account with them anymore. Maybe I should have added it, but like I said, I'll just pay for it now. The additional, I don't know that I'm going to charge up enough on Electrify America to warrant a monthly account right now, and this might be one of the few times that I need to use it. All right, well, we already started tapering. We're down under 50 kilowatts now. So I'm going to go ahead and put in our next destination. I don't want to complain too much about the price after seeing the gasoline. The other thing is, I would expect the efficiency to improve as the day goes on, because when we started it was in the 40s, and it stayed pretty cool, stayed under 50 degrees until the sun came out. So we're just at 57 degrees now, but we're gonna have a pretty warm day. So as the day goes on, we're actually going to, we should probably see our efficiency bump up a couple of 0.1, 0.2, maybe 0.3 miles per kilowatt hour bump in efficiency. But right now I feel fairly confident that we can make it. So let's get ready to head out. Well, that was interesting. It's always nice to kind of get a perspective because, I actually caught up to the Kia EV6 that was at the Firebaugh Electrify America. And so they were just leaving, and actually it's a good thing too. I need to double check. I think I've been having errors with the payment readers here on Electrify America using the credit card. But I think maybe I'm not reading it properly because it looks like it's not swiping right the first time. Then it wants me to swipe again. And if I don't swipe, then it's erroring out. And I thought it was just erroring out. So that might actually be on me. But one of these chargers does actually have a cracked handle, and it won't even communicate with my car. So there might be some EVs that it will work with, the ones that don't strictly adhere to the CCS standard that requires that latching mechanism to be in place. But the Chevrolet Bolt EV, GM's a stickler for that, so it wasn't working. And the other charger down there was occupied, was I think an Equinox. They looked like they just left. So anyway, all told, sort of interesting. I was getting worried there for a little bit. Like I was hoping it wasn't declining my card, but it is a $50 hold too each time I do this, and I'm not getting the the preferential rate, right? Because I'm not paying for that membership anymore. It's easy to say, oh, I could have paid for it for a month, and it would have paid for itself already. But the thing is, what about the month before when I didn't use Electrify America at all, and the month before that where I maybe used it one time, and you start to add it up? I was maintaining that membership more out of convenience, not out of necessity or regular use. And I think I have more freedom on the return, so it's very likely that this will be the last Electrify America I use unless there's some sort of an emergency. But I also wanted to use this one specifically because I wanted an excuse to stop by this Pilot. I stopped by here before driving the Chevy Volt down just to check out the different Pilot locations, look for any sleeper sites that might be under construction. I was hoping this would be one of them, but it doesn't look like they're doing anything here yet. So this is another TBD, but it's also another PFJ site that I would see as being crucial in their implementation. But anyway, I'm going to let this charge for hopefully not more than 30 minutes, but we'll see. We have about 150 plus, almost 200 miles left to go. So I'm going to stock up on some coffee and maybe use the bathroom, and we'll head out of here. I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, get the car started, get ready to plan the next leg. I think I want to do at least one charging stop before I get to my final destination, which I cannot charge at. That's the other thing. They always say always be charging. You know, I was able to grab the coffee, use the bathroom while we're charging here, so it's like opportunity cost. But where I'm going, they don't have any charging, so it's not like I can even AC charge while I'm there. So yeah, let's get ready to head out. All right, well, we're here at the base of the Tehachapis. I pulled into the far charger at this charge point, and it was a 40 kilowatt. Unfortunately, there's nothing really to tell you on the charger itself until you actually see the screen, and it's really hard to read. They're all just the CPE 250s, but this center one is a 62.5 kilowatt. So that's enough to max out my Bolt EV. So 40 kilowatt, you're charging way too slow. The only reason I really stopped here is because I didn't want to take a chance on the rest area chargers in Lebec. Essentially, that free charging at the Caltrans rest area will fill up quickly, even though there are 4 chargers there. They're also only 50 kilowatt, so I can't, basically at this point, I can't really risk any of those delays. We're really sort of on the bottom end of what I normally average in the Bolt EV, which is right now about 50 miles an hour total trip time, including time spent charging. So, which is about the 10 hours that I typically budget for, right? I don't know what the traffic is like, so basically at this point, this might be the last charge until our return leg, but we'll have to play it by ear. I did something a little bit different with this map. I imported it from my computer just to see how it would work, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to take out just this waypoint. Yeah, so it looks like it has multiple stops, so I should be able to remove that stop. Whew, 105 miles. It's going to be hard to tell. Yeah, this traffic. I want to see if I can. But yeah, I think we're just going to do this. We'll take the 210 down. And as you can see, entering LA, just lots of traffic. And then this is the other thing about traveling to LA, for me anyway. I try to avoid charging in the LA area just because it's such a dense population. A lot of the chargers tend to get overwhelmed very easily. Hopefully that's not the case with the chargers that I'm looking at, but we'll spoil that when we get there. But yeah, I think we should be able to head out. There are plenty of chargers along this route, so worst case scenario, if the efficiency isn't that great, then we'll be able to stop and charge. All right, well, we better go. All right, well, I just went ahead and went to the final destination, final destination first. Yeah, it's 2:50 now, so it's going to be a long slog home. I got what I needed to get done though, so I'm a little bit more free to check some things out, but I'm down to less than a quarter of a battery, and I think my range says like 43 miles, which might end up being a little bit optimistic. We'll have to see, but there should be plenty of chargers within even that, right? Within 20% battery. This is Southern California, so let's get ready to head out. Well, we made it to a BP Pulse Giga Hub, another one. This is the one in Duarte, where it's actually just on Route 66, so happy 100th birthday, Route 66. Yeah, I wanted to stop here anyway, just when I saw that it was along the route on the way that I needed to go. I kind of made a slight detour this way. It wouldn't have changed anything really in terms of traffic, and I think it added like 5 miles to the total trip, or maybe 10 miles if you count round trips. So I was going to stop here on the way down. Like I said, I just went all the way down and turned back around. That's why I came here with 9% battery, but that was fine. I don't know how much longer I'm going to wait. I just checked out the site a little bit. They have an on-site attendee, but the on-site attendee is no longer 24 hours a day. They looks like they did just a regular hourly schedule that they're here. But still, I didn't need the app, right? They saw me plug in. They just opened up the door, let me go into the lounge, opened up the door, let me use the bathroom, which was very welcome. So thank you very much. BP Pulse is, they're bringing their A game, or their BP game. I'll do a site review on this, probably actually head out right now. There's another site that I want to check, and I want to grab something to drink actually, and eat while I'm there, and then we will head back as quickly as we can and see what we can see along the way. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and head out now, but I got some B-roll. I couldn't see how much the total site power was, but it's 12 of these tritium units, 150 kilowatt split power, so 24 total stalls with a canopy, trash cans. There's no squeegees, but like there's a lot of other amenities, the lounge too, especially considering where this is, kind of in the middle of the city. Like I said, on Route 66. Great job, BP Pulse. So let's get ready to hit the road. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to spend more time on this site. This is the 060 GM Energy collaboration. There are 5 of the CPE 250s, all the 62.5 kilowatt units here with the NACS and CCS1. But it also happens to be at a In-N-Out, and it took them quite a while to get me my food, but at least I got some food. So I have my dinner done, and it's pretty much just going to be driving from here on out, driving, charging, and then if I need to use the bathroom or pick up a drink or something like that. But otherwise, we can just get ready to leave right now. It basically took me the entire time just to get my food and eat it. So we're 527.4 miles in, and we're leaving Monrovia, California, and heading north. So I don't know when we'll get home, but it's, yeah, we'll probably be home after midnight. Probably, yeah, it's gonna maybe be a full 24 hour day. If I have to take a nap along the way, I will. But we are burning daylight, so let's go. All right, well, we made it here to the north of Bakersfield, I guess barely. We showed up with 4% battery. I actually did have to take it a little bit easy, basically going at or under the posted speed limit through Bakersfield, which actually wasn't that hard. Bakersfield is a 65-mile-an-hour zone, and then there's also some work zones, so just doing 55 and kind of cruising. But yeah, I had no problem getting here. I probably could have pushed it a little bit harder, but I didn't really see a reason why. But yeah, this is going to be pretty much a full service stop for me. I'm going to grab a coffee, go use the bathroom, and then of course, if you got it, use it. We have some squeegees, and we definitely need them. We've gotten hit by a bunch of bugs and bird crap and stuff like that along the way, so I apologize if the driving cam wasn't as crisp as I try to keep it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wash the windshield off. But also, it's 70 cents a kilowatt hour here. That's pretty darn pricey, so I'm probably only gonna stay long enough to actually make it to the next stop. Maybe Fresno, and then we'll make another stop after that. So, well, I'm going to enjoy this full service stop and take advantage of all of the amenities if I'm going to pay 70 cents a kilowatt hour. I guess it balances out. I think last time I was here, it was super off peak and it was like 40 cents or something ridiculous like that. So, all right, well, I got the windows cleaned. I got myself some coffee, and yeah, windshield's cleaned off just in time for it to be too dark to really film. We're also throttled a bit right now. You know, I've been leaving early with the charges and then going deep, so I'm pretty sure the battery was a little bit hot right now. So we're only actually charging a net of 41 kilowatts, so that's telling me that the battery, or the battery conditioning and climate control, is taking a good portion of the charging power. So not ideal. That's extra juice that we're using when it's 70 cents a kilowatt hour. We'll be here for probably another 5 to 10 minutes and then head out. Oh, and of course, the thing I keep forgetting to mention, I'm probably not going to do a tally of this the whole time, but this might be the last Pilot Flying J I'm going to use on this trip. But we're still 100% first time activation success on Pilot Flying J specifically. EVgo, again, not quite as reliable, but Pilot Flying J, at least for me, and maybe I didn't want to jinx it as we were coming in with 4%, but yeah, at least for me, still, I'll have to go back through my records and count the number of times that I've used Pilot Flying J, but every time, first time activation success. So, you know, even if I have a failure at this point, it's going to put this network far ahead of pretty much every other network I've used, with the exception of maybe Electric Era. So, all right, enough jabbering. Let's get ready to head out. We arrived here at Fresno. We actually had more energy than we needed. Again, running into construction along the way, so it kind of keeps the speeds down. A lot of times you're in like a 55, 60 mile an hour zone. So just trying to stay within the speed limits, and then, you know, you end up getting a little bit more efficient. But we were still in orange by the time we got here. I think it said like 14%. But this site, I've used it before. It looks like one of the chargers is down. I think there was a BZ plugged in. I think that was the BZ. They were there when we got here. Their charger works, this charger works, but the other charger next to it doesn't work. But unless I'm reading the pricing wrong, it looks like it's currently in free vend mode. Essentially, you still need an account to activate it, but it looks like the energy cost is free. So nothing beats free 99, especially after paying 70 cents a kilowatt hour at that last session. So like I said, someone was using the ATM, so I might go ahead and go over and just do some of my banking and plan out. It's a balance for me between, you know, frugality and saving time. I'll charge at least probably until the bolt tapers if it's free, because I'm going to need at least another charge to get home, and I'll probably top up enough to make sure I get there, you know, with a cushion at the Electric Era in Williams is my guess. So I'm gonna need at least one other charge between here and there, and if I keep them down to like 20, 25, maybe 30-minute charges at most, then I might need two to get to Williams, and then I can just do like a 5-minute, 10-minute top up. So that's the plan right now. Like I said, I'll go do some banking and just kind of check what I think my next stop is going to be. All right, pretty cool. So I actually got I got all of my banking done. So and I looked up our next stop. I think we're going to visit the BP Pulse station again, the one in Livingston. It's a little bit close, but I also will need to use the bathroom, and it's about an hour away. So I guess free power is coming to an end. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the session. We have more than enough juice at this point. It's drawing 50 kilowatt, but part of that is I can feel it. It's conditioning the battery right now, and probably doesn't need to be. It's down to 70 degrees already. So yeah, let's just get ready to head out. So banking done, charged up, in about an hour from another charger and a bathroom break. So and probably, honestly, some more coffee. We still have about 250 miles to drive. So yeah, let's get ready to head out. Ample sugar. They had a buy one get one basic almost for free for Arizona iced tea, so of course I ended up getting 2 of them. Yeah, anyway, too much sugar. But I also kind of lucked out getting here when we did. After 10 p.m., this BP Pulse location has time of use, so it's down to 35 cents per kilowatt hour. So I'm not in a huge rush to get out of here, but I did scope out another new charging site, new to me anyway. It opened up. I saw it when I traveled, I think actually down to this station. I saw it and it was still closed at the time, but it looks like it's opened since. So I'm going to go ahead and stop by that on the way back. So we don't really need to stay here much longer, but like I said, I'm not really compelled to rush out either if I'm paying 35 cents per kilowatt hour. The temperatures are starting to drop, but a couple of things I wanted to note just walking around the site. These are the same lights it looks like BP Pulse is using. So I mentioned it at the Petro in Corning that I needed to see it at nighttime just to see how well lit they are. And they do seem like very decent lights. There's a lot of light pollution here though, so I think it'll be interesting to see the one in Corning. Corning has a lot less light pollution than here. And then the other thing is, and I'm going to shut up about this, but I double checked. I just went through and looked at all the different connectors, and sure enough, the CCS connectors they're literally being used, it looks like, 10 times more often, or 10 times as much energy as the NACS cable connectors. Now, obviously, that's going to change over time. GM in particular, they start releasing a lot of NACS EVs. I can see that shifting. But I don't know what BP Pulse would need to do to woo Tesla drivers, right? Like, to me, it's insane that here I am charging at 35 cents per kilowatt hour on a Saturday night, and I'm the only one here at this site. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. But you know, that's also one of the benefits of having a charging site built into navigation. I see that with electric era too. Like I said, I've seen a number of EV drivers just obliviously drive right past an electric era charger when I know they were looking for a charger and it would have worked for them. So again, I think that's the benefits of having these different charging providers programmed into other automakers and route planners and things like that. So maybe if you have some of these route planners get smarter about routing to like more reliable chargers, more cost-effective chargers, and they have like the full suite of charging sites that are available, then I could see it. But right now, I feel like people are shortchanging themselves, right, by not doing that. So, but as it is, like I said, I was thinking about taking a nap, but I think we're already charged up enough that that I can get ready to go, and I guess I'll just soldier on and try to sleep when I get home. But yeah, we have at least another, I think, 200 miles to go. So it's 3 hours of driving alone, and probably, like I said, maybe another 30 minutes, 35 minutes of charging time total, not counting what I'm doing here. And time to scurry away. Let's get ready to hit the road. I think this is one of the Ethan Conrad properties that EVgo built at. Like I said, the last time I was heading up Highway 99, I looked over and I saw this one. Hadn't been powered on yet, but yeah, I think it's been listed, I believe, on one of Walter's recent updates for the alternative fuels data center. Anyway, I think I'm gonna, well, oh, and it also, I'm getting the super off-peak rates right now, so it's 38 cents per kilowatt hour, which is not so bad. I think I'm gonna actually just try to take a quick nap and then wake up. If I'm asleep for more than 30 minutes, then I'll probably have enough energy to just get all the way home and I won't need to make another stop after this. I'll have to double check on how far I have to go, but it is, 70, 75 mile an hour freeway for most of the rest of the way back, plus elevation increase and all of that. And there is some wind, so we'll have to see. Like I said, worst case scenario, I stop and top up at the electric era in Williams. But for now, I think I'm gonna just snooze a little bit, and then that way I'll be fresh for the last leg home. All right, well, nap time over. Yeah, it looks like we've been charging for about 30 minutes now, and we already have, well over half a battery, so let's get ready to head out. All right, well, we're here in Williams. technically speaking, I didn't need to stop here. We are at 20%, which, you know, if I wanted to behave myself or really take back roads and drive slower, I could eke out getting home with 20%, but I don't want to have to really slow down at all. We're only going to probably be here for maybe 5 minutes. You know, 30% is a very safe number, and I can get right back on the freeway again if that's the case. I actually already stopped at the Pilot Flying J, the Pilot in Dunnigan, just because I really needed to use the bathroom, so I wasn't going to be able to make it another 30 minutes on the road. One of the drawbacks of that EVgo site there in South Sacramento is, I mean, there were some businesses there, but especially after hours, you know, any sort of 24/7 bathroom access, it's not going to have it. It's more of a retail support charger that you can also use for travel because it's just off the highway. So also, I wanted to stop at the Pilot instead of like the rest area in Dunnigan, just because I wanted to check on the status of the new EVgo GM Energy charger that's going in there. And sure enough, had it been powered on, then I could have killed two birds with one stone. I could have used a bathroom, topped up enough while I was there that I wouldn't have needed to make this stop. So, you know, that'll be an option for future trips. And then the other thing is, I just wanted to check in here because I'm probably just going to log the time that I get home, the mileage, efficiency, things like that, because I'm just gonna, I think, plug in and then go to sleep, and then I'll catch everybody up in the morning, you know, maybe to close out the video, use some movie magic, some editing magic. But yeah, like I said, if I have 30% leaving from here, I'm pretty good. And then we should, right now, unless something happens between here and home, we're on track to basically, it'll be a 23.5-hour day, which isn't bad considering I ran into traffic in Southern California, and what is it, hour and a half of my time was spent someplace where I wasn't charging and I was doing other things, right? So, yeah, well, let's get ready to head out. Sure enough, I made it home almost exactly 23.5 hours. So I guess it's just shy of that. We got in right before 3 a.m. And again, the energy used screen is not exactly representative because I wasn't able to get it fully cleared out. I think I had 76 kilowatt hours already used and 200 and something miles already on the display. So I hadn't had it reset before we left on this trip. But I did end up doing the total numbers in terms of the cost for the trip. And so I wanted to make sure I shared that because I haven't been doing that recently. But as I noted, because I'm charging 100% from solar at home, my energy costs, or the total costs of these trips, is actually very, very easy to calculate. Now, the totals for this trip, we traveled 1,021.6 miles as displayed, and the total charging cost was $134.99. But even then, that total leaves this at a 13.2 cents per mile, which, considering that the cheapest gasoline, like the cheapest standard grade, whatever, 87 octane gasoline that I saw the entire trip was just under $5 a gallon. Yeah, at least in California, we're still at cost parity, even with some of these energy prices. That 23.5 hours, while it seems long, again, like I noted that I ran into a decent amount of traffic in Los Angeles, and I was at the place I needed to be for close to an hour, hour and a half. I'd have to go back and check the logs again to see exactly how long I was there. But that was time that was, I guess, almost just dead time, right? It was the cost of doing business, I guess, literally. So yeah, I think all told, we really weren't that far off of that. Like I said, a 50-mile-per-hour average trip time in the Bolt EV if you're just accounting for the driving and the time spent stopped and charging. So anything that you're stopped and not charging, or any time that you're stuck in traffic, that's obviously going to shift those numbers a bit. But just in terms of just trip time, that's a pretty much, like I said, an expected roughly 50 miles per hour total average travel time, including charging stops. Anyway, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said, I'm just sort of closing it out here at my desk. Just wanted to give those numbers in terms of the overall cost of charging, just in comparison to what energy costs are likely to be moving forward. So, as always, thank you for watching.